Welcome, everyone. This is the August 13, 2025 open meeting of the Auburn Conservation Commission. It's being operated as a hybrid format under Chapter 22 of the Acts of 2022. The public can join the meeting remotely by dialing 1-408-650-3123 and then using access code 942-845-549. You can join via computer at global.gotomeeting.com/join/942-845-549. So materials for tonight's meeting are on the town's website and have been provided to the commissioners. Our agenda is also posted on our website, and the public is encouraged to follow along using that agenda. My name is Michael Garland. I'm chairman of the Conservation Commission. And before we start, let me do a roll call of our members. Megan Langley.
Here.
Mark Scalammo.
Here.
Ricky Arizmi.
Here.
Okay. I know Michelle Corros is unavailable, and I don't believe Rachel Girardi is going to be available either. Tom Fallon.
Here.
Okay. Please note that the meeting is being recorded by Auburn Cable Television. If you are speaking this evening, I'd ask you to state your name and also your address. So without further ado, the first matter on our hearing list tonight is a 7 p.m. public hearing. Eastland Partners, a notice of intent for construction at 50 Washington Street. Is there a motion to open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed to vote? Well.
Good evening.
Hello, how are you?
Doing well, thank you. For the record, Jim Bernardino with Turning Point Engineering, representing Eastland Partners for their property at 50 Washington Street. Just a quick recap.
I'm sorry.
Where we ended up last time we met. We just received comments.
Can you guys hear me?
P. Nope.
I'm sorry, who?
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
This is Ricky.
fine.
Ricky. I can't see the room.
Okay, well, can you click on?
No, you guys aren't sharing the room,
Oh.
and it's not live on YouTube.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you,
Okay. And we can hear you.
but I can't see the room. You guys are not sharing your camera in the room.
Camera's on.
It says the camera's
You
on.
hit see the share button? Oh, see camera, one over. Never done that before. No. Never seen this before. Nope.
Well, okay, Ricky,
All right.
all I can say is if you would just listen in.
No.
Not a problem.
All right, thank you, appreciate it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
We received comments from the DEP based on the previous correspondence before the official comments came out. We had a very good idea of what feedback we were going to receive from DEP. So the day after the hearing, the last hearing from the commission, we were able to resubmit an updated set of site plans that addressed the DEP comments. We've also provided some written responses to those. I'll go through those relatively quickly, but maybe spend a little more time on the relevant ones that are more in tune with the actual filing of the notice of intent.
Okay.
The primary, the first concern that DEP had was regarding the restrictive covenants that was on record. I was not privy to that. So when I was made aware of the previous applications for the project, we conducted some research and conducted or quantified the previous filings, and which resulted in a previous wetland fill of 54,350 square feet, previously approved, previously incorporated. The proposal that we had that DEP commented on was to add an extra 859. Unfortunately, that number put us over the 5,000 threshold. So we took a closer look at revising that Hall Road connecting the two properties of 190 and 50. What can we do? We're able to narrow it up in a couple spots, make a little bend in it to get away from further the wetlands rather than just doing a straight shot.
Okay.
So we were able to nip and tuck and reduce the fill to 596 square feet. Now that, in addition to the aggregate that was previously proposed, we would be total of 4,949. So we would be below that 500 restricted covenant threshold. We've also looked at the MEPA requirements that require notice of a project change. We also reviewed that the wetland impacts are generally below the thresholds of a 25% increase of the MEPA certificate. So, based upon the limited increase that, basically we're within the confinements of the MEPA threshold. So we don't believe that any notice of project change would be necessary for that. We did update the replication plan. We still provide a 2-to-1 replication. So we're filling just approximately 600 square feet. Our replication is 1,200 within the general proximity of the fill area.
Okay.
DEP's been made aware of it. That was another comment that DEP had. So we have spoken to DOT regarding the drainage and the impacts to the lake. They asked regarding test pits and the suitability of the soils. Provided a response to that, and also made the assurances that the DPW is reviewing the drainage and the soils and things of that nature. So I gave some assurances there as well. And then just a shortcut, I went through the performance standards again, just to kind of update the numbers that were there. Not only did the fill area that we were proposing decrease to be within the limits, but we also reduced some of the bank impacts that were associated with extending those culverts. Previously, I think we extended them out 11 feet. Now we, or I think it was like 17 feet. Now we're extending them out 11 feet. So that was the responses to the DEP that we had. We've also submitted concurrently back to the DPW on their second round of comments that they had on the submission. We waited to have one filing, so everybody and the commission would be copied on one set of resubmission materials. They asked us to provide some additional information on the alternatives analysis, which we did provide. The other one that I think would be of interest to the commission as well as the public was they did ask us to take a look at some more conservative numbers as what we thought the hauling activities would take from a standing and schedule standpoint. They thought our estimate was a little aggressive. So we took a 33% reduction as to the efficiency that we had. So basically that added about a month to the project. So previously we were about 2.5 to 3 months. Using their data, they were looking at 3.5 to 4 months, but we're still hoping for that 3-month timeline. And for the most part, the other ones were just from record keeping and things of that nature, informative stuff for the DPW. So other than that, we do think this is a great benefit to assisting, with the operations this haul road as well. So with that, the commission's had some time with the plans as well. That's why we try to rush to get everything in everybody's hands as soon as possible. So with that, I'll turn it over to the commission for any questions that you may have.
Tell us more about your conversations with DOT.
DOT. Well, we went with DOT, met with them on the site. We presently have a permit that is allowing for the fill of that slope going down for the roadway widening. And what this would actually do would bump out the extension of the pipes about 11 feet, give or take. Now, the conversation before, we weren't pushing out those pipes 11 feet. We're coming down with a steeper slope and things of that nature. So when we discussed previously, we're building the slope, we're extending the pipes temporarily. It's just as easy to do a permanent installation there and not impact and pull out what was there. We met with DOT and they said, this is all pretty straightforward. They were right at the brink of issuing the permit as their site plans stand. So they said, we don't have an issue. When this time comes, you start construction, we can deal with this with a change order or a sketch in the field as a field modification. But they would need these plans, once they are approved, to go to them for implementation in the field. They haven't decided if they would, take it as a field modification or if they would need an amended permit. But I believe they were of the opinion that it was minor and would be a field change. It does result in a much better drainage situation from a head wall standpoint and the like.
Well, I guess the question I have is, does it alleviate the concerns of the abutting neighbors? Well, you've heard, of course, about problems with flooding and as a result, I think, of discharges from those pipes.
Yes. Our conversation, I was discussing the wetland fill area where we're moving the pipes. The piping system of their discharges that are further to the east of the property, we have not discussed those in detail with those at those point. We're not making any modifications. We are limiting our improvements to our property
Right.
without impacting their pipes. So we're actually making protections to our property from the outfall and the like. So we're not making any physical modifications to their drainage system.
But the neighbor's concern is that the modifications you are making to 50 Washington Street
Yep.
will have an adverse impact on them or potential adverse impact. So what assurance can you give them that that will not happen?
The assurance is that we put together a comprehensive stormwater and drainage plan as well as a analysis that collects, with a swale and conveys through the site to the wetland system. So what right there's currently on the property now, there is no established drainage path. There's no protections against scour or erosion. So what we're proposing to do is coming in there within the limits that we're proposing, clear that area of trees, fallen debris, any obstacles that may be currently impeding the flow of water from the DOT site, collect it into a drainage system, which will be a swale with a stone line channel for erosion controls.
Okay.
And that has all been sized for the 100-year storm. So the 100-year storm, which is one of the guidelines that we go with, those sizing of the swales will collect and convey that as designed.
Okay. I don't have any other questions. Any questions from other members of the board?
I'm curious to have the swale pointed out on plans.
Certainly. We can do that.
Okay, Mr. Lowe? Yeah. Alice, come over here, go over there.
So this is the project area that we have. The Hall Road is just off this page. And the areas that are of concern, I believe, that I was just discussing were culvert discharging onto the site, culvert discharging on the site. There's also a larger culvert coming onto the site, but it's actually coming onto the property of the abutters. So what we're proposing is to have a collection swale running along the toe of the slope. We're going to be filling up to the bottom of the culvert, because right now they're kind of hanging off, very steep. Provide stabilization there, all the way through here and around. And we also, as part of, this is our original plan, we made enhancements where we extended the swale as far as we can within reason to what we believe will collect the area that's just outside of the neighboring driveway that's there. Convey it all the way to the back with a riprap apron to dissipate the velocities before it enters the wetland system.
Okay. Is there anything to treat that water or?
There's no treatment of that water. It's only it's actually conveyance of an existing stormwater system of the DOT.
Okay.
Mark, any questions?
No,
I like what you said. Ricky, any questions?
No questions.
Okay, so are there any comments from members in the audience? Yes, ma'am, you're,
Robert Plosky, Lindbergh Acres.
okay,
Okay, so if I'm hearing him correctly, they're gonna work on that area that we've been concerned with the water coming down? Because last time they said they weren't gonna touch it because we're in, court for an adverse possession case. So what he's saying today is they're gonna work on it?
Mr. Bernardino, you can respond.
Yes, our intention was always to work and improve along that roadway.
Okay,
How close can we get there? That's kind of, up to the debate, but we're gonna put it as close as we can when the resolution does come through to convey it along the side. However, the concern that we can't show any improvement to at this point, because you don't technically have the rights, is the drainage system that's actually on your property. So if we were to propose any improvements that were on your property, you would actually need to be part of this application.
but it's not on our property, it drains onto your property.
It drains onto us, yes, and we're doing what we physically can on our property. So that pipe that's behind the gentleman's shed, that's
Yeah, kind of.
where it comes out
Right,
crazy busy,
Yeah.
that's actually on your association's property.
okay,
So where it comes and comes onto us, that's where we pick it up.
okay. And that would take down most of the.
That would take
road.
down most of the rough stuff that's in the road, because right now there's down trees, we're gonna
Right.
clean all that out. When we're out there, it makes sense to go back and right up to that culvert, but we have to get everything else resolved between
Yeah, 'cause
the applicant's attorneys and your attorneys. Once
Right,
that's
which-
done,
Yeah, we're
enhancements
trying to
will
get
be
DOT to come out and look at that culvert too.
yes.
So, I just wanna make sure I was clear on what you were saying this
Yes.
time.
Yeah, where it's all ponding up down by that road, we're gonna muck all that out and get the water flowing. Well,
Well, you don't have a timeline or nothing, right?
well, the timeline was hopefully this year, this summer. We're still hoping to do that, but they're definitely making considerations of it because we did wait 3 months to get a number. And obviously, when we put material in here, we have to have it controlled for the future considerations. So we can't be hauling material in the dead of February. So that'll be a consideration that they'll have because when they start, they want to finish. They don't want to spend $50,000 to move trucks 2 times.
Well, how long do you think the project will take? 3 to 4 months?
3 to 4 months, yes.
So if you were to start next week, that would take,
We have an appeal period that we have to wait
all
for.
right, so that would, so you, okay, so
So-
you don't start until really September, which means you don't get done. Best case scenario is January.
Right.
Okay.
Correct. And that's best case scenarios if they have everything lined up right now. But I can inform them, hey, listen, you may be ready in 21 days. And
Sure,
if they can still spend that, I think they will.
okay,
But that's the intent, is to make it happen as soon as possible.
understood.
But if not, it may lack until the spring start.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. I'm Warren B. from Lindbergh Acres.
Hi.
My question is, do you have any idea when they're gonna start? If you permit this tonight, I know it's 21 days, but will we be notified when they're gonna start? So that we have an idea,
I think you'd probably see them and hear them, right?
that's for sure.
Yeah, you'll see the guys come in for the erosion controls and start saw cutting the trees.
Yeah.
But there's no formal notification process that I'm aware of.
Okay, any other questions? Go ahead.
Okay, I'm confused. Is there, a drainage basin that's going to be constructed as this, or that will be constructed when it's developed?
As part of this, there will be a drainage system.
Okay.
So basically, we're gonna be filling in this whole site. And what we're doing is, we know that we have to do some treatment, collection, retaining, and things of that nature. Obviously, we've sized a detention basin of 4 bay that's in excess of what's needed for this. We've sized this so that in the future, 75% of this area could be impervious. That goes into the drainage system. So later on in the future, we try to stay out of the resource area again to make the basin bigger and things of that nature. So we have I call it a passive drainage system. We have a drainage swale with check dams for just flow dissipation, sediment traps, forebays, all going to be part of this project as well. So later on, when someone actually wants to develop the site, they'll have a full engineered plan showing pavement, parking, piping, catch basins, and then they'll all have to come back to you again
Okay.
and make sure that my assumptions here are the same, or if they have to do enhancements, then they have to do enhancements. But we have a stepping stone to where we want to work within.
Okay. And then my last question was, is it indicated on here? I see the last page that shows like the replication area, but I'm
Yeah.
having trouble like putting it in context of where it is actually on the site.
Right through here on the site. So basically, right here is the replication area. And then when you go off to the next sheet that we have, it shows it here. Let's see. So we'll show this. This is the existing conditions overall. This is where the Hall Road is,
Okay.
and the replication is going to be right there. And the sheet divide is right there.
Okay. Thank you.
Are there any other questions? If there are no other questions, is there a motion to close?
I make a motion, close the hearing.
Is there a second?
A second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? It's a vote. All right, thank you, Mr. Bernardino.
Welcome.
And then we'll let you get the order issued this evening.
Thank you very much.
See, that's an I'll send you an email and I'll flood them over. Talk to you, and it's already said, yeah, for you, but, you know. I'm getting-
Out there, get pushing the trucks done. They move along quick, so.
Yep.
That's what they need to.
Okay, the next item on our agenda is 7:05 public hearing. Giovanni Nadella, notice of intent to build an addition to a single-family home and remove an existing garage at 5 Friedel Street. Is there a motion open?
Make a motion to open?
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 It's a vote. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir, Mr. Garland and board. Apologize if I missed a site inspection. There was some reason I didn't get the email, although it was sent, but we looked through our emails and nothing came in that day. So there had been a glitch in the past with communication way back with Sheila one day. Something about communication between this town hall. But anyways, I wasn't there, but you all looked at it.
Yes.
Different. So this is 1880 home that's on the property. It's an expansion of 1,479 square feet. There is restoration of goes back to when people dumped on their own property and filled in wetlands.
Right.
That's how old it is. So we're proposing to take all that dump material out down to the original organic base. And if we need to backfill it, because it might be depressed, so that it's going to be the same elevation as the existing adjacent wetland at 600 and change square feet. The addition is within, both part of the addition is on existing asphalt where that motorhome is, and the second part of the addition, this is would be just east of it into that lawn area. Any trees, as we explained through DEP, mostly the black cherries that are in and around that, will be leaving them, except for around the corridor of the house. Garage in the back, that'll be fully removed down to, and it's at concrete floor. And the latest plan that you have is restoration with planting. DEP was looking at some planting for that area of restoration. We'll be back up to the 600 square feet. That'll also be seeded and planted. We have a scheme on that thing with silky dogwood and arrowwood to be planted. That is listed with you. Again, and then back to the upland area, the 2/3 of that garage area will be planted also with native species, which is outlined in detail to DEP.
Right.
Stormwater was proposed, we went through that process with existing grades who finalized the plan. The surveyors were out of Quincy, and then we put the AutoCAD file to, again, existing grades who did do testing and put the Caltech unit, as you can see it. It's not on your screen. Do you have plans to look at? I guess you do. Thank you. So it's in front of the structure, and that is over 50 feet. Any kind of infiltration has to be over 50 feet from wetlands. We are. There might be some questions about how I flagged the mean annual high water. It does not follow the brook per se. This is a backed up water. 12/20/02, when they revised the riverfront regulation, it talked about low gradient streams. And a low gradient stream, if it floods back, similar to if you 7 Mile River, Sudbury River, these rivers that are low gradient, so where deep organic material in marsh vegetation stops and woody vegetation begins, or over a predominance of woody, that's the edge of the river. So I followed this mean annual high water. It somewhat parallels the BVW because this does back up and is deep organic and dominated by marsh vegetation. So that's why the riverfront extends off of the main river. It is beaver flooded back there also as we've been down there with canoes, and so this low gradient stream is backed up, and that helps to flood that backland. Again, I flagged the MHW and the BVW. I think we went through extensive detail to explain everything to DEP with a red line if you had seen it. Okay, and if you need me to go into each detail of it, I will be overseeing the restoration and the planting, both the restoration of the upland where the garage is and the restoration of that filled dump area. Once we move out of there, there was, I would say one other question by DEP was that they looked at aerial flyovers and they thought there was succession going towards the back. That's exotic invasive, or it's called sweet mock orange, come out of Turkey, if I didn't explain that the last time here. Then we have oriental bittersweet in there, and we also have porcelain berry. So our job will be to remove that, and that some of that oriental is pretty big. We'll be pulling it out with cinch straps, and then the stuff around the garage will be removing it down, root systems and all, and then getting a topsoil back in there. And there's going to be a monitoring of 2 years to ensure that we have that fully out of that riverfront area. The lawn area that you see out there, that we do plan on keeping at least a lawn on which we call the east side of the house. But towards the rear, again, that's going to be restored, and giving some of that back as DP was questioning on what will be restored. So that we would call that the northern tip point there. That's some of that area that we're going to remove exotic invasives and then replant. We will want to keep monitor the exotic invasives. I just left David Clark on Worcester. It's going to take a few times to get it out of there, and then we would go with the planting, because you don't get we attempt to get all the roots, but if you're 80% successful, you're still going to have 20% that's going to want to pop. So,
Sure.
especially with that oriental bittersweet. One thing about those seeds we just read about, they're like 8 years of viable. So you have to plant, even if you get the root, then you start seeing other ones coming up. So many times what we're just doing, in fact today at the City of Worcester bus terminal, we keep it mowed for a couple years to actually kill it off. And I've done the same thing in my own yard, because all green plants, eventually if you don't have any chlorophyll, you will kill the roots. Even oriental bittersweet, you can kill the roots by mowing it to death, which we proved to both Framingham, which was Jane out of Mass Department of Agriculture, and you can look at the literature and it can be done. We did it in Oxford at the sewer pump station. So even Japanese knotweed can be killed by, and you can, well, no, it can, because I've done it.
It just takes forever.
It can take up to 2 years. I'm doing a program with Ty and Bond in Gardner where we topped it. It's topped for 3 years. In fact, we'll be back there this year. The only problem with our 4,000 square feet of tarping was that birds pecked a hole in a 7 mil tarp, and now we're consulting Ty and Bond that they better go with 10 mil.
Doesn't it just move to the outside of the tarp though?
No, it's not that smart.
Well, it's not
We-
smart, it
we
just
start,
goes
yeah.
where it can
No,
go.
it goes for light, and we actually top beyond the 4,000 square feet.
I have to agree to disagree on that, but.
Well, we've physically done it. I'm an exotic invasive plant removal specialist. I just finished 4 acres with Concord. We've been doing US Army Corps for 8 years, exotic invasive. We can show you the Oxford pump station on 12 and 56 where it's been killed by mowing it to death. And it does, any plant that has chlorophyll can be killed by giving it no chlorophyll. Sugars and starches, once you cut that out, we just killed in Falmouth, and I don't want to go into everything, we just killed off within 3 months Phragmites. Why? Because that's the easier one to kill. I mean, you might not think so, but the Phragmites, the reed, actually gets its oxygen from the aerial portion of the plant. And so if you cut the plant off and then you top that, within 3 months, Sutton, I did 2 projects in Sutton, it was killed in 3 months. So it's a little bit easier than the bittersweet. But than the Japanese knotweed. The bittersweet is just a constant torture.
Is the knotweed, is the plan for that to manage with mowing also?
No, the knotweed, the root systems don't go into the water table. It is a back-up plant, and it will not, almost many plants, in fact, we just finished a 10,000 square foot replication area last week in Sutton, and the one thing going down through the topsoil, the A horizon and the B, and then getting to the water table under 2.5 by 4.2, very low chroma, there, the root systems stop. Once you hit the water, because even most plants, except for buttonbush, which does live in water, okay, one of our northern bushes that live. Once you get to the water table, that's why a lot of pines go over, if they're growing next to a wetland and they're shallow, you don't see a taproot going down. Soon as it hits the water table, it can't breathe. There's not enough oxygen in the water table to breathe, so your root systems stay near the surface. That's why red maples get killed so easily when a beaver floods an area, because their root systems in that swamp are very shallow. As soon as you put them underwater, they're not breathing, and that's why they die. So we don't anticipate, we're gonna go after all of the knotweed that surrounds this old dump area. It probably came in when they started dumping, because it's just on that dump if you look at it.
What's the method is what I'm asking.
Oh, that's gonna be a cleanup bucket on an excavator. It's 2 feet deep. That's why we have this construction corridor going out there. We're excavating this and it's going directly in a dump truck, and it'll go to a licensed landfill or wherever they choose to bring it, that'll be licensed.
They can't burn it?
We, the one on Hart Street in Framingham 2 years ago, we actually priced out burning it, where they burn hydrocarbon contaminated soils out of when you're taking tanks out on
Sure.
gas stations today. And the guy says to us, I forget what don't quote me on the figure, because it was just all knotweed on this Hart Street in Framingham. And then I had a little problem with saying, look, I'll just use it as a top layer of fill, and then I'll mow it to death, and I had a little pushback. So in the end, we actually send it to New Hampshire where it gets burnt as in hydrocarbon, burnt soil. And the guy goes, you're doing what? That's the company up there, because they never heard of it. But that's one way, but very expensive way to get rid of knotweed. The way we just did it in Gardner, we took the main rootstock, we popped it out, then we just had what was still going down as a taproot, and we left that at a school, and we let it dry until it was dead. And then we topped. So we did take out a lot of energy in that cluster right there if it's been growing for years. We popped that out with bars, put it all on tarp, took it out of the site, let it dry, and then we tarped. And the only place we have actually plants growing on that 4,000 square feet is where the animals pecked holes in it. The commission was wondering, I says, look, I got pictures of it. There's pecked holes in that black tarp. And as soon as you even saw a little bit of light, there comes the plant up through it.
Makes sense. Okay. I don't have any questions, Glenn. I mean, I think your response to the DEP comments was comprehensive as I anticipated, and we had a chance to walk the site. So I have no questions. I don't know if you have any further questions, Megan.
No.
Mark, any questions?
Nope. I have a quick question through the chair.
Sure.
How often did you do the controlled mowing, Glenn, to kill the knot?
Oh, we have to mow it like a lawn. When I say mow it, I don't mean any green like once a month. In fact, Arello Corp just took on some site to mow, Arello Corp hydrograss. And they said, oh, we're only gonna mow it, I don't know if he said 2 weeks or 4. I said, no, you've got to mow it like a lawn. There can't be any chlorophyll at
Mhm.
all. You've got to cut the chlorophyll all the time off.
Mhm.
And again, the example is right here on 56 and 20 and 12 here in Oxford, where Ludlow Construction, briefly again, I'll be brief. When Ludlow Construction came in to put the sewer line from Auburn to the new high school in Oxford, their landing spot was an old mill site right on 56, right off of 12. They ended up making their loom there, and when they did, they ground small pieces of Oriental bittersweet, not Oriental bittersweet, knotweed into it, and then going down Main Street. If you go down Main Street, especially this side of the police station, it's all Japanese knotweed. That's all where the sewer line went off the road and went into the curb. If you go and past Walmart into Oxford on the left-hand side, that's also where the sewer line went. I actually have an article in the paper at the time to tell Dennis Powers, the town manager, to get Ludlow back to poison it. And in fact, right now, that white company that's doing 12 and 20, they spread it down in Oxford, and I just was with Judy Lochner, who just retired. I told her and the commission went after DOT, and in the end, I think they got some high test poison, because Lynch got caught doing it, and Morello got caught in 12 and 20 doing it. I turned them both in, and now this white company, and whatever they used, man, I'm surprised, because I found it on 395 from Sutton Ave coming this way when Lynch redid, this is going back 10 years. Here's the small sprouts, take a shovel and pop it up in his little piece of that knotweed. Well, in the end, where I saw them killing it, there's none. So I don't have that kind of poison. We used ground clear, we used Roundup, and neither one on my property, where Amarillo, when they widened Route 12 in front of my house, where they spread it, I ended up just have to keep, I say one thing about exotic invasives, just hurt it bad. So we constantly knock it, and I have two places just recently. One is Meiji's Chinese restaurant, where we kept popping it out. It's not, and this is the first year, none of it has come back. So you can hurt it. You gotta hurt it hard. Basically, if you're mowing it, even if it's in rocks, take the rocks out, make it into a lawn if it's the side of your lawn, and just mow it as you mow your lawn, and you will kill it.
Okay. Ricky, any questions?
No questions.
Okay. Is there a motion to close?
Make a motion to close.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 All right, it's a vote. All right, Glenn.
We can't wait to have this project back in front of you, the certificate, so you can see the whole thing.
All right, fantastic.
We'll be there, thank you. I'm sure your order will reflect that. We'll
All right.
be overseeing it. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
Not that I need to work, I'm just saying, this way it'll get done.
I understand.
Glenn, do you want to stay for the St. Mark's compliance discussion, or?
Sure, yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
should
sir,
be
if it's
pretty
on,
quick.
sure,
Yeah.
thank you.
All right, the next matter on our agenda is 710 public hearing. Halim Chuba, request for determination of applicability to upgrade an existing car wash at 888 Southbridge Street. Is there a motion open?
Motion to open.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, the vote. All right,
Chair, I spoke to the gentleman today, and he was not going to be here. He was at the planning board, so the owner, I believe, that's Ronan, who's on.
okay,
So he'll be here to represent himself with this.
okay. Sir, can you hear us? Sir? Ronan? Mr. Ronan?
You went back to sleep.
Oh, his mic's open though.
Yeah.
All right, we'll come back to this in a moment. Why don't we discuss 7 St. Mark Street?
Thank
you. So this is a certificate of compliance that's been requested.
If I could,
Please.
Chair, sir, when you're ready.
Go ahead, I'm ready.
Okay, I think you haven't seen it yet, so I believe we might just be setting up a site inspection to go look at the work. It's all grass, it's the crushed stones in, the erosion control is still in place. We kept to, and then we have a substantial compliance letter to you and an as-built So I believe we're all in order for a site inspection, so we might be able to move forward on the next meeting.
Sure. Do you know when these pictures were taken, Glenn?
Within, if they're my pictures, yeah, they were probably a month ago,
Okay.
something like
I
that.
mean-
Let me see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's green, so it was this year.
Okay.
It's, like it should say, like, if you don't, I'm sorry,
Yep.
yeah, like, if my kid didn't put on there, he's not gonna get another vacation. Because that's where he is right
Definitely,
now.
you can tell. I mean,
Yeah, no, actually, these pictures are from existing grades, that's why mine.
Okay.
But we'll make sure the existing grades, we always want to know the date of the pictures.
All right, so why don't we do this? We'll agree to continue the discussion on 7 St. Mark Street to our next meeting on 8/27.
8/27, you'll let me know.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay,
Yep.
8/27, I thank you for that, David. Thank you for everything.
All right, thank you.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Thank you. St. Mark.
Apparently have lost the gel.
Mr. Ryan is not on anymore.
Appreciate it.
Well, our policy is that if you don't appear for your presentation or for your application, we don't.
Oh, he's back on.
Sir, can you hear us? This is regards 888 Southbridge Street. Is it Mr. Ronan?
That's his first name. Ronan Drory, D-R-O-R-Y.
Mr. Drury, can you hear us? Can we have a sign, please? Mr. Drury? We'll come back to him a little bit later. So with respect to 3 Commerce Way, we've also received a request for a certificate of compliance.
We have not received it yet.
Oh, okay,
I did speak to Mr. Quinn, and he was gonna get it prepared.
okay.
We had gone out, who went, Ricky and myself? When we
Yeah, I
did
went.
those 3, that's right, yeah. We walked, it was established, everything looked good. And DPW, I don't know if Emma and Greg Roto had a chance to go out, but they wanted to see it as well.
And he's off again.
So once I get that official notice from Mr. Quinn for a certificate, and if we're out, we could always go out there and just take a look and see what's there, because it was really just that area across the road from the building, so.
And then you have, also, I have marked down on my agenda for tonight, 47 and 49 Rockland Road.
Okay, I wanted to give an update through the chair.
Sure.
So I don't know if all you got some of the pictures there, they sent pictures to me
I didn't-
of with the erosion controls in from 7/25/25. I thought I sent an email. Anyways, this is just showing what was installed, so they did install them all. It looks like they got rid of that pile of, it was actually, Gary Allard said it was actually grindings and some other gravel mixed in, but he felt that it was stabilized, and I told him that our thoughts were that they needed to put something around the bottom just to hold it, in place, so there
Right.
wasn't any washout. So we did get some communication from Emma going back to them, and one of the things was that they had an operation and maintenance manual, and when I went through it, I found that they were looking to be able to wash trucks on their site. And this board, when I was on it several years ago over at Sword Street, we denied that to the people next to FW Webb, I think it was, because we just didn't feel that being so close to a wetland, even though they were gonna try to contain the water, that it wasn't an appropriate place. And seeing that that's an industrial site, and this is actually, it's a business that has a variance, but it's in the middle of a residential, that the board, might wanna look at that and decide, and to facilitate his coming to this meeting on the when is he coming, on the 10th, the first meeting in September? I would let him know that, like, the board, whether they are or aren't comfortable with that, and he might want to remove it from the plan, depending on what the board would want to do, so.
Okay. All right, very good. We have decisions for 50 Washington Street and also for 5 Riddell. But before we do that, I understand that there was a sidewalk was made of 5 Willow Street for their request for certificate of compliance. And I did not get out there, but I saw the pictures, everything, and I also saw the as-built plan. Everything looks like it was done according to what we had ordered.
Mhm.
So I don't know if either of you made it out to 5 Willis Street.
We all did. That was the first one that we did.
Okay.
I did take one picture, I think I sent to everybody. And what they actually did is they made the impervious area a little bit smaller. Everything there was well established. And what I mentioned that once this was issued, they could take that erosion control measure down the silt fence of that.
Okay.
Because everything's growing in.
Is there a motion for 5 Willis Street?
Make a motion to issue the certificate of compliance for 5 Willis Street.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed to vote. All right, very good. Now, who wants to take a crack at 50 Washington Street?
Find my stuff.
Okay, so I guess I can get 3 signatures here and I can still use this in the electronic version for the certificate of compliance, but it really doesn't matter because it doesn't get recorded anyways. I believe, actually, yeah, it does, yeah.
Certificate of compliance gets recorded.
Yeah. So I'll attach the electronic one too for Ricky V.
My
here.
pen just died.
Yep. All right.
Yep, it's dead.
Okay. I make a motion to issue a notice of intent for 50 Washington Street, map 27, parcel 14, with standard order of conditions, but plus the following special conditions. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
5, 6, 7,
Mhm.
8, 9.
Can you hear me now?
Sir, we'll be with you in 1 second.
11, 12,
Yep,
13.
yep.
We don't have anything.
Can you hear me now?
Sir, we're in the middle of making a decision and we'll be with you in 1 second.
Oh, no, I just want to make sure we can hear me now. I just logged in again. I
Yeah.
had to redo it. So I apologize.
Okay, we can hear you now. We'll be with you shortly. Okay, so,
There's nothing in the 25, right?
no, no,
Okay.
no, there's
So,
not.
15,
Okay,
I don't know about 15.
סיבה זה של המצלמה, והטלפון הזה ולא מהטלפון הזה.
sir, can you mute your microphone? Okay. How about 17?
Yes, 17. I didn't know about 16 just because of if they're gonna, do you think they would transfer that before?
I don't think so, no.
Yeah, call one, he's shut the mic off.
Caller 1, please shut your mic off. Let's get this done.
Let's run it.
Okay. 18,
Okay,
20,
yep. Yeah,
terrible. And then let me know of any others you think apply.
I would say 24.
Okay, and 24.
Okay. How about 29?
Okay, 29. I think that's it.
All right.
So,
Go ahead, Mark.
so they need to put more erosion control on Is that what it is? They already have a bunch, but.
We want to make sure it's being well installed.
Okay.
We want inspection before they start doing the work.
Okay, I got you.
So I'm just going to repeat what,
Sorry, can I add 36? That one's about drainage, so it's not, I usually never go that far down the list. but-
all right, very good.
All right,
All right, so standard order plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 15, 17, I guess 18,
I did.
18, 20, 24, 29, and 36.
Yep.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Hi. Can I, Ronan, can you mute your cell phone that you're calling from, please?
I can hear you now, but I just want to make sure you hear me.
Yes, mute your cell phone that you're calling from.
Do what? I apologize, I couldn't hear you.
Can you mute the cell phone that you are calling from?
You want the cell phone that I'm calling from, the number?
No, sir.
Mute the phone.
Yeah, I'm on a phone, yes.
Do we know that's him?
Who's calling?
Tom, can you do it?
Caller one. Thank you.
Here we go.
Okay.
All right. All right, so there was a motion, there was a second. I think we said all those in favor say aye.
Mhm.
Aye.
Aye.
No opposition? All right, it's voted. And then let's take care of Mr. Dury before we issue the order for Friedel Street. Mr. Dury, are you there, sir?
Yes, I am.
Well, good. So, so a number of the commissioners went out to the site at 8088 Southbridge Street.
Yeah,
Okay, sir, and actually, you're the representative for the owner, is that correct?
He is the owner.
I'm the owner. The engineer had an emergency and he couldn't show up, so obviously I didn't want to lose the time, so I'm showing up in front of you
Okay,
to hopefully get a favorable decision. So I can go over the project with you unless you know everything about it.
well,
I know he did put a letter together that he said that he would, love for you guys to read it, so he will describe the job. And he will basically tell you exactly what the description of the project is, so you can see exactly what we did. We actually put in less vacuums than what was there before. It's less detrimental that, what it's supposed to be. And we know the distributed area, it's under the guideline. As far as, I'm just kind of telling you what he told me, that this should not trigger a full set of plans. So, not plans, I'm sorry,
I know,
conservation.
I know some intent, sir.
So
It's called a notice of intent.
he kind of wrote it all down. I can go through it, or you can read it, and then if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them.
Well, I had an opportunity to go through the plan and also the cover letter. An inspection was made of this property last weekend or 2 weekends ago?
No,
No?
no, nobody went to the site. Now, through the chair, can I speak?
Please.
We issued a certificate of compliance for this site from 1986 for the original owner Ernie's Car Wash back in January or February, you recall?
Right.
And basically, when they went through planning and that, they're here tonight because they weren't aware that they needed to do an RDA, because just because we signed off that what was there, they needed to come here to tell us what their proposed work was. and
Okay.
what the scope of it was, and that's why they're here this evening.
Okay. So, Mr. Dory,
Yeah.
where are the closest wetlands to the car wash?
Where is the closest wetland to the car wash?
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Do you know?
I think, I don't know, actually. I think it's right after, like it's behind us. I don't know how close it is, like square footage wise.
Well, it's not a question of square footage. We have jurisdiction, if your proposed project is within 100 feet of a wetland area. Even if a project is within 100 feet of a wetland area, depending on the scope of the work that's being done and the type of erosion control measures you put in place, we still have the ability to issue a negative determination. I think, however, that since none of us have been out to the property, it makes sense for us to go out there to take a look. I don't think it will take very long. And so, sir, with your permission, I'd like to continue the public hearing for this to August 27th, which is our next meeting. Is that agreeable to you?
Well, I mean, obviously, yeah, it's no problem. I was just hoping that we can move it forward because all we're doing is just adding the pay stations and the vacuum, but we're not disturbing the square footage to trigger the full-blown, I guess, erosion control or whatever. The erosion control is already there. I'm sorry. We're not triggering the plan that, to be a full, because we're under the square footage. If you read what the engineer wrote down, like how many square feet is going to be disturbed.
Well, sir,
But
and sir, what I said is that if this project is within 100 feet of a wetland area, that triggers our jurisdiction. Having said that, it doesn't mean that we would then order you to issue a notice of intent. We want to take a look to see,
yeah, that
we want to take,
was the way they were looking for.
sir, we want to take a look to see what impact, if any, this renovation of the car wash is going to have in a wetland area. In all likelihood, it won't have any effect whatsoever, but since none of us have been out there, it seems incumbent for us to go out there and take a look ourselves. Do you understand?
Okay. Yeah, of course, no problem. Yeah.
All right, so with your permission then, we will continue the public hearing for this to our next meeting, which is on August 27th. Do we have anything scheduled for that day?
I think I had two. I think there was two new ones coming up.
Okay.
So if we want to do like 7:10,
7:10?
would be good.
All right, can I have a motion to continue the public hearing for 88 Southbridge Street to August 27th at 7:10?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, it's a vote. All right, so Mr. Dury, we appreciate your patience in waiting to speak with us. We will take a look between now and our meeting on August 27th, and I'm sure we'll be able to render a decision then.
Thank you very much. And again, I apologize for the phone. For some reason, I could hear you, but you couldn't hear me. So I had to log in and log out, and obviously it worked. So
No worries.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Have a good night.
you too. And then finally, for 5 Friedel Street, is there a motion?
Okay. I make a motion to issue a notice of intent for 5 Friedel Street with standard,
Order condition.
sorry, what did I say? Notice of intent.
It's okay, it's an order of conditions.
I make a motion to issue an order of conditions. Did I say that in the last one too?
No, you said no, some intent to, but we got your drift.
Why do I don't know what's wrong with me, sorry.
It's all right, it's hot.
It is hot. I make a motion to issue an order of conditions for 5 Friedel Street with the standard order of conditions with the following special conditions.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 5. I don't know if there's any riprap. I don't
There's no
think.
riprap.
8, 9, 11, 15, 17,
24.
21,
24.
24. 29. Are they gonna be, they're gonna be doing demo, aren't they?
They're gonna be removing, yeah, they are gonna do demo because they have to take the garage down.
Yep.
So like 25? I don't know what else.
That's fine. I think 25 is fair. Is that it?
I'm just checking. That's good with me unless you have anything else to add.
Okay. So, Megan, motion was a standard order of conditions plus the following special conditions, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9, 11, 15, how about 17 too?
Yeah, I said 70.
Yeah, you did good. Uh, uh, 24. Twenty-five, 29. And I think that's it.
Yep.
Okay. That's Megan's motion. Is there a second?
I second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? It's a vote. All right. Do we have any other new business, Tom?
We do not. I will have some meeting minutes for this meeting and the last meeting on the 27th.
Okay.
And I don't know if anyone's available to do site visits either this weekend or next weekend for 7 Mark, 888 Southbridge, and possibly even swing by 3 Commerce while we're at St. Mark to so you guys can see.
Yeah, I'm sure it can be arranged. I have another funeral to go to this weekend,
Mhm.
which doesn't throw me, but
Possibly the following Saturday then maybe?
maybe the following Saturday. Okay, so is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
I second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, it's a vote. All right, everyone, thank you very much.